A couple things I want to touch base on in this video because I recognize now that there are different things that I want to explore. First and foremost, being bringing all of my focus, awareness, and energy back to myself and into my body has actually um, it's made me more confident with what it is that I'm thinking, what it is that I'm feeling, my behaviors, the decisions that I'm making, the way that I talk to people. I'm not so much worried about what it is that they're going to think about it, say about it, feel about it, what they're going to do about it. I'm very much more focused on just how it makes me feel, and it's been it's been really cool. A lot of things are evolving for me in a really awesome way in that sense, and I'm very excited about it. Um, Another thing is I remember previously watching a video on, I believe it was Instagram, and this guy was talking about the challenge of adapting to change and doing things differently, right? And he was using the example of whenever you cross your arms, right? You're just standing there and you cross your arms. If you instead cross your arms the other way, right? Instead of putting like this arm over that arm, you put that arm over this arm, and it makes things uncomfortable because you're doing things differently, right? And I thought about it and I was like, this is the best era of my life ever, for starters. But secondly, it's also the most challenging because I'm doing things drastically different from the way that I've previously done them. Yeah, the mind and body doesn't like change. It does not mean that change is not possible, though. And I've been realizing this. The more that I sit with myself, the more that I really like set boundaries and like actually choose myself, the more challenging life gets because oftentimes people don't want you to choose yourself. They want you to choose them. They want you to choose something else. They don't want you to choose yourself because when you choose yourself, it gets you closer and closer to your own authenticity, your own personal power. And the closer you get to your own personal power, the more awakened you become. The more awakened you become, the more you heal. The more you heal, the more you realize that a majority of everything that you've experienced in life is complete and utter bullshit. Right? There's just an entire um, experience and process of unlearning. Right? The amount of unlearning that takes place. But this also like begs me to ask the question like if all of this unlearning is taking place, why did we ever have to learn things the way that we did previously? Right? There's a lot of unlearning. And I think that I can imagine people would be like, "Oh, well it had to happen the way that well, why did it have to happen the way that it did? Why? Is it because our society is so dysfunctional?" I don't want to hear any excuses. Honestly, I don't because like when I look at it, here's an example. I would argue that a far majority of the things that we learn in school are irrelevant for life, right? We spend a lot of time in school. Too much, in my honest opinion. And I look back at school and it's like, did we really have to go through all that? I don't believe that we did, right? Um, Not everybody is meant for school, right? And you'll learn what you need to. You will. Um, at the necessary rate of evolution earlier on in childhood, you will. Um, but yeah, it's like I don't know. I'm really questioning a lot of things now. I'm really questioning like what was actually necessary, right? And of course, our parents had their own trauma, their own shit, and they projected it onto us and everything, and that's really what fucked us up. That's what messed us up. But I don't know. Like I'm really starting to question things. I'm really starting to live differently, and it's very fulfilling because um, when you start to heal, not just start when you are healing and people experience you differently as a result of it, they have this expectation, where's the old you? You don't own me. um, you're trying to mold me into somebody that you and that's the other thing too. We have this idea for how things are supposed to be, for how people are supposed to be. And when people and things don't mold themselves or conform to that ideal that we have set up for them, suffering is involved. It's like, wow, nobody owns anybody. Like even parents, they don't own their children. Children belong to life, right? Yeah, they may have given birth to them and everything. By the way, this is a hard thing for people to swallow. I just read a book that was talking about this. The book is called Awareness. Um, and it was talking about how, like, can parents really make demands on their children? Can they? I know that a majority of people are going to be like, well, yeah, of course they can. They're their children. Really, though? Can they? They don't own their children. Children are life. People are life. A human being is life. Right? So when I look at all this kind of stuff, I think about it and it's like, what are we really doing when we're demanding stuff from our children? You're not teaching your child to be an autonomous, free individual. No, you're teaching your children strings that they're attached to, that they have to abide by. I believe that if you want a human being to be the best it can be and be as happy and fulfilled as it possibly can, do the best that you can to instill it with positive self-esteem. Be very aware of yourself. If you want to be a good parent, you have to be very aware of yourself. You have to be very aware of what it is that messed you up, and do not do not give that shit to your children. It's possible to be a really good parent, but a majority of parents out there just don't know what the fuck they're doing. So, and it's not that it's not that a lot of them have bad intentions. They just don't know what they're doing. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying before. Confidence. If you want to instill confidence, then you've really got to take the time to, like, allow the person to make decisions for themselves. That's where confidence comes from. And validate their decisions. Don't invalidate their decisions. Invalidation sucks. You want to die. You want to you want to deny somebody's reality. Invalidate them. Teach them that their decisions are not right. It's not okay. But yeah, there were a few different things in this video. So getting back to the whole matter of just before I finished the video, it's possible to live a different life. It's going to be uncomfortable at first. You're going to be doing things differently, and part of you is going to be like, "Where's the familiar? This isn't comfortable. I don't like." Yeah, that's what change looks like. It's that simple and complex at the same time.